This episode of Jocks and Jills is brought to you by Shark Ninja, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen. And today we want to tell you about the Shark CryoGlow Cooling and LED Face Mask. It's the only med spa-inspired mask to combine clinically tested IQ LED technology and InstaChill cold technology for results starting with the push of a button. Select a routine, track progress, adjust your chill level, pause and resume. It's not skincare, it's skin tech. Only CryoGlow combines the high-energy LEDs, deep penetrating infrared, and under-eye cooling. I'm obsessed with this thing, guys. I use it morning and night. So thank you very much to Shark Ninja, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen, proud founding partner of the PWHL, our presenting sponsor here at Jocks and Jills. Episode 2021. What?
You want to throw back to 2021? I was pregnant.
No, I didn't even like 2021 that much. It was like a weird time.
Like we were all sort of coming back to life in 2021, you know?
Yeah, actually, that was a good year. 2022, things got weird again.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 21, the year is 2026.
At least you got that right.
Clearly, I've, been all over a place
You have
this
to be
weekend.
bopping around, you little traveler.
Yeah.
It was
World
good
traveler.
travels.
It was good travels. They were delayed. There was like a lot of winter weather, but I had a lot of fun. You tell me about your last week first, and then I'll talk about my travels around Ottawa and Montreal for the games this weekend.
We're finally back into the routine of things. All parents can celebrate. Hooray, we did it. Actually, not all parents. Sorry, I revoke that statement. There are some people out there, Jillian Apps in particular from the Canadian Women's National Team, sent me a note. She was like, glad your kids are back to school. My kids have a PA day today.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that is mean and that is hurtful.
Yeah, that's
like,
a wild one.
I don't know. I would not be well if I was here right now and my kids were still home. No way, no how. Albeit mine are back in school.
Good.
They were sleeping like teenagers. I had to literally drag them out of bed this morning, which is fine. Got them to school on time. I'm pretty sure they have their lunches. I almost forgot water bottles, but I didn't. We had minor hiccups this morning, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Annie thought it would be
unexpected.
funny. Theo will stand up on his chair when he watches sports highlights sometimes. And Annie, being Annie, thought it would be funny to dab her finger in her yogurt and put it on his butt without telling him. And obviously I didn't notice. So he had a gob of white yogurt. And then she finally laughed and told him like as we were getting ready to go. And so then I had to like wipe his pants and dry them. Anyways, so that happened. And then I didn't realize that Theo had torn his snow pants from crotch to knees on both sides on the inside.
What
and he
was
was like, Mom, you didn't
doing?
fix these. I'm like, I did not see that. So then it was like,
Dude, I
mad
would
rush.
not have been sewing your snow pants from
And
crotch
it's
to knees
snowing
either.
today. So they're
Yeah.
outside in the snow. I'm like, okay, we're going to wear your pants from last year. The poor guy, his pants were flooding so bad. And literally we were walking into the school. He's like, Mom, snow's already in my boots. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Please,
You can do
we'll
it.
get to
You got spare
Walmart tomorrow.
socks. Yeah, you got spare socks in your cubby. Regardless, my family was in town. Wicked New Year's. It was awesome. House is finally quiet. I can't wait to get everything done that I haven't been able to get done in like 2 hours here.
Yeah. Is your Christmas still up right now?
Yes.
Me
So
too.
that will be a thing.
I don't mind it fully. Like my cousin is so funny. She lives next door to me in Thunder Bay. She had her tree outside Boxing Day morning. I'm like,
Okay.
God bless you, Lindsay. Like,
And I get that. I would
Yeah.
like to do that for Annie since her birthday is very
Right.
close after Christmas. But in where I live, they have like a tree pickup day. So our
Me
tree
too.
would still be on the side of the road. So like we just have to make sure we do not miss that day because I do not want to drive to the dump to drop this thing
I
off or cut
know.
it up and just burn it in our backyard.
there was a
Whatever.
couple maybe there's more than one. My town had like 2 days, 2 weeks
really?
where you can do it. So maybe there's two.
Okay.
I don't know.
all right.
I like
If
to keep
that's
mine
the
up
case,
usually Jan 6th. Epiphany.
I was going to say it's this garbage day. So like tonight after the kids go to bed, I know exactly what Ed and I are doing. Because we
Yeah.
can't trust them. We help them put the decorations up on the tree. And like we always lose one or two in the mix.
Yeah.
For instance, last year, and my heart is still broken over it, I had a Blue Jays ball from like when I was a kid, like when they won World Series year, and it was dropped and broken. So like shame on me for
No.
trusting the kids to try and
That's
help.
a tragic
It
one.
fell off the tree.
Yeah,
so like
that-
they
okay,
can't
that's
not
not their
tinker.
fault.
So now we put the good ones at the top and the ones that can't break at the bottom, albeit we will be taking them all down tonight. Last night was actually a really cool night. Last year, I don't know if you remember, but Theo skated in the intermission of our junior B team here.
Yep.
And that sparked Annie. Annie was really ticked that she couldn't go on the ice and do that with him. And I was like, girl, like you got to work on your skating. You don't know how to skate yet. So that pushed her to want to play hockey. And yesterday, her hockey team got to skate in the intermission. And it was, I got to be out there with them. And it was like the cutest. Like she didn't care about the puck, which I didn't bother me any, as long as you're smiling and having fun out there. And it was like, our good friends came out to watch her, and she was just like, the drive-bys where you look up in the crowd and you're just smiling. She had that going on the whole time, and it was just like really cool. So when I dropped her off at school today, I was like, you make sure you tell your teacher what you did yesterday. And she was like, all the treats? I'm like, no. Like
all the treats.
Get popcorn. Like, I don't know what treats you're talking about. And I was like, the game you skated at, the hockey game. She was like, oh yeah. So it's like, you really figure out, like that meant a lot to me. That's a core memory for me. For her, it was the popcorn.
Right. It's always the popcorn. It's completely fine.
How were your travels?
Travels were good.
You're okay?
Liam actually took down some Christmas before I came home, which I appreciate.
Wow,
I have a ton of
go.
Santas happening. Like Liam gets me a Santa every year that we date. I think it's kind of cute. And so we took those down. I kind of like the lights though still. Like it's just so dark and cold out. So I think I'm going to leave some like stuff that's more wintry up and less full Christmas. Just like keep some warm vibes in the house in the dead of cold where it seems to snow every single day right now.
Yeah.
Guys, is it finally over? Is the ban over for Jocks and Jills in Ottawa? Like,
I love that you had friendship bracelets that said Julia banned.
So Ottawa fans are the absolute best. First of all, upon walking into the building, I was handed a Charge versus Frost bingo card. Jackie, I'll send you a photo so we could put this up. Charge fans made bingo cards for the Frost versus Charge game. Here's a few examples of bingo squares. Girls get spicy. Clarky goal. Check. Jocks and Jills curse. Of course. Gwen throws a punch. Chant out of sync. Goalie deserves a raise. Refs in the way. Jocelyn Larocque in the box. Rory brick wall bounce. Like there's just so many good ones here. Ref you suck chant. Goalie deserves a raise. Central situation room review. Like it's so good. I was also very honored. And listen, I've only given like one of Liam's takes on this show ever. And then I got a million messages about it, which I was like, hey guys, chill. Don't give Liam this much attention.
No, he loves it.
His favorite player, like I mentioned, is Katarova. And I was gifted these Katarova stickers for him.
Way.
Shout out to Lori Draws on Instagram. It's Lori_Draws. And I just put it on my Instagram, but somebody made me Julia band friendship bracelets, which I thought was really nice. The amount of side eyes I was getting when I walked into that building was truly insane.
Julia's here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was nervous for you. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh man, had the game on. I'm like, okay, Dad, sit down and watch this with me. We got to get good juju to Julia. So Julia, is she playing? I'm like, no, not at all.
I actually would. Jamie Fine was there as well.
No way.
I was so happy to see her. I gave her a big hug. And then she was like, wait, is this okay? And I was like, no, stop. It's all fine. You can escort me out if they start to go down. And then after the game, when I was on the ice, interviewing Sarah Wozniewicz, who like just had an absolutely awesome game. We'll talk about that soon. I was pointing at Jamie off the ice, and she was pointing at me. We were fist bumping. Like we were so happy. The ban is lifted.
Yeah. I can't wait for her to write a song about the Charge in the league.
We need that. We need that. Before we talk about that game and talk about the U.S. roster, obviously big news this week. I wanted to read this really nice email from someone I got to meet over the weekend. Emmy's 3-year-old girl who was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 1 month old. Her mom, Megan, is so sweet. She reached out to us about a week ago, kind of sharing Emmy's story and telling us that she's a big Victoire fan and she started to watch Victoire clips last year. Sunday, the Frost versus Victoire game was the first time she was able to attend a game in person. And I was lucky. I got to bring her a couple Jocks and Jills hats. She's the cutest kid I've ever seen, Tessa.
Adorable.
She's such a doll. Like, oh my gosh. Her mom reached out to us again and said, hey, hope you're doing well after an exciting game. Just wanted to say thank you very much for taking the time during a busy day to say hi and for the hats. Truly a dream come true. She said, Emmy, after I walked away, apparently said, Mama, Julie's the laughing lady because of the way I do our thumbnails on on
Stop.
YouTube.
You're always giggling. And then you got me in a weird face. Yeah.
I always put the dumbest faces possible for you and I on our thumbnails.
It's so good.
And then whoever's our guest, I try to make look cute. But anyways, she said, so happy to be part of this hockey community and for Emmy to have amazing role models to look up to. If you have extra star power and are able to send Katie Tabin a big thank you from our family, Emmy won't let go of the puck she gifted her and is now taking it to bed. Katie Tabin threw a puck over the glass. So shout out to Megan and Emmy. I was so happy to meet them and so happy they're part of the PW family.
That's the best.
It truly is. Okay, let's get to the news everybody wants to talk about. Headlines in the PWHL and women's hockey. We got an Olympic roster for the USA, Tessa. Some snubs, probably. A lot of players making the team for their first time. 8 first-timers at the Olympics, which seems insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's players who are making their debut at this Olympics that I'm like, what? How have you not been
at
an Olympics yet? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So your initial reactions to this USA roster.
Okay, the snubs part, like I went over all the people that I was like, okay, who was in the mix? And I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, I don't know who I'm taking off.
I know, that's the thing. So final cuts for Team USA were Jessie Comfort, Lacey Eden, Gabby Hughes, Casey O'Brien, Savannah Harmon, Emma Peschel, and Anna Wilgren.
Yeah. All of which you can insert. And,
absolutely.
And we'd still be like, this is a good lineup.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it came down to experience at the Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, there's a handful. Hannah Bilka, Britta Curl, Joy Dunn, Tessa Janicki, Kirsten Sims, Layla Edwards, Rory Gilday. Every single goaltender making their Olympic debut. Now, people might be like, whatever, they've played in the Worlds. And I get that. And yes, Worlds experience is important. It's important to be able to see what a major tournament is like, understand, the weight of trying to either A, go back to back and winning a gold, or win your team's first medal, and or get the medal back in your country's hands. Okay?
Right.
That stuff's important. The Olympics are a completely different beast. Why? Because women's hockey has been in the Olympics now since '98, a very long time. And it has just recently been, until recently, been the pinnacle. That is when you make it. That is what everyone strives to want to make. That is the team. It used to be like your career wasn't successful or as successful as you wanted it to be unless you made that national team, right? Every kid grows up watching Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics. I did. I'm an Olympic junkie. I love everything about the Olympics. I've attended both Summer and Winter Olympics as fans. Like, it's awesome. So, and I've played in one Olympics, and I can tell you that I had a lot of experience going into that. I had tried out for the 06 Olympics and got cut. And the next one, 2010, was my year. And even getting there, as comfortable and confident as I was, you're in the athletes' village. I saw Sean White. I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. What the hell am I doing here? Then you go to the open ceremonies and you're amped and you're pumped. And then you go back to your room and you're like, is this happening to me? And then you got to play the next day.
Yeah.
And then all of your family is there, or you're getting messages, and you constantly have fan mail delivered to your door, and you realize the weight of what you're doing and the magnitude of what you're a part of, and it all matters. And you try and get your feet under you, and it doesn't matter, because when it comes down to the elimination games, the quarters and the semis, and then inevitably the medal rounds, the medal games, that's when things really get heavy, and you really have to have a very good mental coach with you there to help you through that. Because it is a lot. It's what you've dreamed of and thought of and wanted. And there's players on this team that wanted to be on the Olympic teams prior to this that maybe got cut or didn't make it. And they want back. And now it's here. And it's like, I find people focus on that, don't let me be the one that screws it up, as opposed to like, what an opportunity this is. So this does weigh. This team is unreal, but that is a handful of players that are brand new in the Olympic roster.
Yeah.
So this team, to me, can be untouchable if they get all of these players really cooking and comfy right off the hop.
Totally.
Because there's a lot of distractions.
I said 8. Yeah.
On off day, it's 9, right?
Yeah.
On off days, sometimes after your practice, you got a whole day to go do something, and you're going to watch other events. And the first time you see someone actually win a medal is when you're like, wow. And that sticks. And that, like, for me, it was when Alex Bilodeau, a Canadian skier, he does the tricks, the flips and everything. I forget what it's called. Regardless, when he won the first medal for Canada. We were all chilling in our chill zone, and it was Vancouver, so it was very like mild. We had our sliding door open, and just across the water was downtown. And when he won, we could hear the cheers and screams and chants from the city downtown.
Whoa.
And that's when we were like, okay, this is serious. Like, this means business. If we didn't feel pressure before, that right there is it.
Yeah.
And so I love all of these players. I love this team. I love everything about it. But like I said, just because they look great, it doesn't mean the weight of Olympics doesn't play a factor in this. It does. Experience matters at the Olympics.
Like, how was this Taylor Heisey's first Olympics?
Wild.
That doesn't make any sense to me. She was the MVP at Worlds in 2021.
Did I leave her off that list? Sorry if I did. Did I not say Heisey? Oh no, I did say Heisey. Joy Dunn, Taylor Heisey, Janicki. I don't know. She's the one player I'm not worried about. There's something about her demeanor with Heisey where she's built different.
Yeah.
And there are players like that. Like, she's aloof, but very with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. She really knows how to take things in stride. Like she could
everything
take
rolls
criticism.
off her freaking back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
So funny because Ken Clay, remember when he came on, he was like, she's the black cat some days. You want to talk? But I don't see that at all. Like, Taylor just seems to be consistent day in, day out. And yeah. Going to be really cool to see her at the Olympics for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So many changes. Like Kyle Cushman pointed out on Twitter, how different is USA's women's roster from 4 years ago? 12 changes from Beijing. Like, crazy how many people have retired from Cameron Easy. Decker was on that team. Kessel was on that team. Bozic was on that team. So just a crazy amount of changes. And I'm really excited to see what they can do. Like, clearly this team has a lot of confidence. That's the thing. Like, there are so many distractions, but like, think of the players on this roster. Like, does Caroline Harvey get rattled by this sort of thing? Like, I don't think so. She's had so many lights on her.
I also think she's built different. She's in the Heisey category.
Yeah. Abby Murphy, like, does she get rattled by stuff like that? I don't think so. Maybe she'll cross a line every once in a while, but
I think that's going to be in the back of her mind where it's the Olympics. And do you know what I mean? So what game are we going to see from her? And I think she'll bring an edge, but I don't think we're going to see the usual like we see at the Worlds.
You can't. There's just too much on the line.
Yeah. Canada has yet to release their roster. Everyone's
Friday,
like, man,
apparently.
how's Canada going to compete with this, especially after how rivalry went? And I have an idea for it. There's lots of things.
Okay, we have a question about it actually. So let's do our Send It segment a little bit early today.
Okay.
This one is from Kim. And as soon as you brought up this idea, I was like, perfect, because we have a question about it. Hi, love the show. I had a question for the Send It segment. Abby Rock has been off the U.S. roster for a while. She's a dual citizen of Canada. Could she play for Team Canada? I deeply want to see the Rock wife line play internationally, but I remember there being issues with Hannah Miller playing for Canada after playing for another country. Thanks, Kim. Nobody better to answer this question than Tessa, who's a dad, and Abby Rock's dad are scouting together in Northern Ontario. You've known Abby since she was a little tyke.
Yeah. So this is exactly where I was going. Abby Rock's is a fix. They don't have time to do any part of this. I think if Abby Rock would have played in Montreal last season, I think Canada would look hard into this and really fight for this.
Yeah.
And because the way her, Pooh, and Stacey play, every Worlds, have we not talked about who they're going to slot in on that line? And it rotates. It changes. Victoria Bach had a swipe at it. Fillier had a swipe at it. Sometimes they put Jenner up there. Rattray makes an appearance up there. Jenner makes an appearance. And it's like, what's the line? Right? This is the line. You watch them play, you're like, these players were meant to play together. Like, it couldn't be more perfect. And it's unfortunate that Abby, I don't want to say unfortunate because they were fortunate enough to have her and they're lucky to have her. She's one of my favorite players out there in the PW. I just love the way she plays. But if Canada could find a way, one, Murphy won't be running around the way Murphy does in the Worlds. Abby's there to stifle that. Right. Two, Pooh is a different player with Rock, and they complement each other incredibly perfectly. And I'll break it down later in their games. But Kim, you and I, our wavelength is the exact same on thought process for the Canadian roster, because that would put so many problems to bed. I don't want to say problems, just solve a riddle or an equation. Abby Rock,
it's magic, the three of them on the ice right now. There's so many hoops to jump through, though. Yeah, to your point, Tessa.
And listen, if the U.S. don't want her, that's fine. we're very happy to have Abby Rock on that roster.
Yeah.
And like, I know we were like, it's crazy to see her in a Victoire jersey. Never mind. Imagine her donning a Canadian
That would be insane.
jersey.
I don't even know how to consider that. It would be so wild.
Off the shelves. Everyone would be buying them.
100%.
High sold jersey.
Yeah, but just you said, Tessa, like there's a lot of hoops to jump through there. It would take a lot of time. We've seen the process with Hannah Miller. You have to be permanently residing in the new country. Yeah. I don't even think that just playing pro hockey there suffices. You have to be a legal citizen I guess she would be a legal citizen if she's dual. You have to complete a waiting period that there's just no time for right now.
Well, hold on, she's dual, but I feel like didn't the United States have a thing where you had to give up one of your passports?
Oh, maybe.
We had to pick one or the other.
Yeah. There's a lot of hoops to jump through here. So I love the way you think, Kim. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever be seeing Abby Rock donning a Canada jersey. Though since the day she pulled on an American one, I remember we were all like, oh, dang it. Come on. Sault Ste. Marie, just jump the border.
Come on, man.
It's so close. It's so close. Okay, let's get into some games this week. Montreal, New York. This was a good one. When I was talking to Corey Chevry before, their game on Sunday, she actually called this Montreal's maybe best game in franchise history, interestingly enough, even though they weren't able to get the win. Dale Ross was activated from the LTIR before this one. Olivia Knowles returns to the reserve list, and it was good to see Sarah Fillier back in the lineup after she missed that one game after taking that huge hit.
Yeah, I was actually kind of worried about that, but I think it was good for them just to let things settle and just truly see, okay, where are we here? Like, there's no need to push this any longer. Like, let's say I'm going to use a horrible term, but let's say she did get her bell rung a little bit. And there was just like, after games, you never feel great anyways. You're sore everywhere. You're a little off. You're kind of foggy sometimes just from maybe not having a good nap or the best sleep after a game. So it was nice a good choice, I'll say, just to give her a rest to actually see, okay, where are we here? Like, do you actually feel okay? Or are you actually still a little roughed up? Because there's only a certain amount of days.
Right.
And Troy and Gina need to know. You know what I mean? This can't be a lingering thing where we're wheeling into the Olympics and you're still not okay and we've named you to the roster. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy that they did that. But I agree with Corey. I've said, when I watched this game, I was like, Montreal's going to be kicking themselves because there were so many chances that they had that I was like, they had 21 scoring chances, 21 good scoring chances. Like I went through and watched all of them and I was like, frig, man. We used to call it all Swede, no finish.
Yep.
And it felt like that. And it was just like, could you just let them buy one? Like, let them buy one. Like, fork out whoever put money up on the block, just buy a goal here. And it was, I felt like it was a moment in their growth as a team, maybe, or even in coaching, the way they approach things, maybe, where it's that learning lesson that you need, where you turn the tide, where you need that struggle early.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To really learn to fight for things and to truly finish things off. And it's funny because in their game later, after this one, their second period, and even in the first, I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening to them again. Like, are the wheels going to fall off? Is the bench going to get mad at each other? What's happening? But in this game, I thought they played fantastic. And this game was won not only by, but I'll give 95% to Kaylee Osborne, who made 42 saves in this one against a very high-powered offensive team, who was playing fantastic. Osborne wants on this Olympic roster. And to be honest, she earned her spot in that game. I was just like, sign her, give her the jersey. She's on the team. She's playing great. All Canadian goalies are, to be honest. Debbie, I think, will be truly sharp come Olympic time because that's just in her DNA. But this game, I felt really bad for Montreal, but I was excited and elated for New York to be able to figure out a way, because all wins aren't you played the best. And people that, and I love that Fargo was talking about this, and so did O'Rourke, but he's coaching playoff style hockey where it's just like, it doesn't matter. Just when you have the opportunity, finish and put it in. And their goals were nice. It's not even like all these were gritty goals. Like they had an opportunity, the chance was there, and they finished. And if Montreal would have done the same on the other side, this game would have been 7-4.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, in my opinion, which is fine. It was cute that Bargman got her first. Her O'Neill goal, I felt bad for Abstrider on that one.
Yeah.
Like my heart hit my stomach. And I was like, we saw it last season. Country Schroeds did it. It's just all a part of being a goalie. And I know goalies get that. But I felt really bad for her in this one. O'Brien, I know she didn't make the Olympic team. But in this game, I was just like, whoof. She's going to be a contender for the next one.
For sure.
Because her vision on the ice, her feed to Calty, I felt like I watched the replay, I don't know how many times, and I was like, did she even see her? Like, she's got eyes on the side and the back of her head because it was perfectly on a tee for Calty to let that thing rip. And she had a girl on her back, and she was skating in the opposite direction and just turned and fired it on a rope to Calty. And like, Calty's strong and she can get a shot off, and it was beautiful. It was like, that goal's a goal all of the time, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I was just like, great play, great player. I feel like O'Brien's really finding her footing in this league, and I cannot wait to see what's to come in for the rest of the season, let alone years to come for this player. She's a stud. She's a star. And she's getting comfortable, and you could see her confidence grow game after game. Peyton Levis, my Ohio State Buckeye, love ya. Again, pulls the trigger on a sick feed from Philly. I literally yelled when Philly walked into the slot because this is a pet peeve of mine in this league sometimes. It's happening way too often, Julia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Players are skating into the slot area and dishing. When I'm like, would you just... A shot on net is never bad. It's not a bad thing. A shot attempt is never bad. It ends up chaos in front.
Yeah, you got somebody with you anyways.
Right? But as soon as I was like, oh, Philly, shoot. And then she dished it. And I was like, okay, it was good.
Fair enough.
Great play. You know what?
You
You're
win
better
this
than
round.
Me. Yeah. She's probably going to win every round. But that's fine. Again, Montreal completely outchanced New York. Shout out to Kaylee Osborne. Hell of a game. I'm sure New York doesn't really give a shit. They walked away with 3 points in this one, and they were like, sayonara. We are in Jersey. We're going to party at home. Maybe go to one of those kitchen parties in Princeton to celebrate. I don't know. But whatever. I hope that Kaylee Osborne did not pay for her dinner that evening because she deserved to be spoiled rotten.
Absolutely not. Yeah, great win for New York over Montreal. Very, very happy for them on that Friday night. And then we had the triple header on Saturday. Okay, we started it off in Ottawa when Brianne Jenner scored first.
Dude.
I wanted so badly to be excited.
Do you want to say
honestly, that made it even more stressful for me when Brianne Jenner scored. Because as you all know, if you're new to listening to the podcast, last year Tess and I went to Ottawa. If you're just hearing us talking about being banned from Ottawa all the time and not understanding the context, we go to Ottawa last year. We do a live podcast in the concourse. Everybody's fired up. They have us on the Jumbotron between the second and the third to do your famous segment called Tessa's Takes, where you share, your takes on the game so far. And you shared a stat at the time. Was
12-1. It was 11-1 when 11-0 when Jenner scores.
Yeah, okay. They were 11-0 at the time when Jenner scored in games. And I have this video of you saying, you know what happens when Jenner scores? And then we're on the Jumbotron. We said the same thing. And New York storms back historically.
Scores 6.
Wins that game. And
like
everyone hates us, essentially.
Yeah.
This game... Everyone on the broadcast so badly wanted me to say that stat once it happened. They're like, Julia, can you bring us back with the stat? And I've never really said no to a producer before in a live game. But I was like, Cody, unfortunately, I can't do that for you right now. Yeah. I cannot do that. I would love to. Maybe if they're winning by a lot at some point, but I will not do that here in the first period. So then it became a thing all game long. They wanted me to say that stat. Anyways, this was a great game.
Are you going to say it?
Well, now they are 16-1 when Brianne Jenner scores. And yes, the one game that they lost was in fact that game we were in the building. But hey, it could be 15-2 right now. And I could have been in the building for both of them.
Right, imagine.
Banned forever.
We for sure would never be allowed back there.
No. And I'm so happy to go back. They've got the nicest fans. Like, I'm always so happy to see them.
Yeah, for sure. Can we talk about Emily Clark for a minute?
Okay, I had the most insane ISO on this goal, and like where we stand in Ottawa. I like picture the view I had of it. I got to watch her come all the way down, and let me be so honest. I'm like, oh, she's got no room here. She's gonna get a shot on net. Maybe she'll get a rebound or something like that. Oh my God, what a snipe going end to end.
End to end, 2 moves in the neutral zone where I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then her shot through the leg, far side blocker.
Clarky.
Perfect 2 foot a foot and a half, 2 feet off the ice over the pad. I was like, oh my God. Roll the highlight reel. That
Yeah.
one's on it forever.
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I felt so lucky. The view I had of it, I was, yeah. And I'm also really happy for her. You can just kind of see a little bit of weight come off her shoulders. You know, she was waiting for that one.
Yeah.
I felt like the crowd felt a sense of relief when she scored too.
Totally.
So it was just, that was great to have Jenner and Clarkie get things going there.
Yeah. At first period, I felt like it was back and forth between these teams. I felt like, scoring chances relatively even. Second period, I felt like Minnie was pulling away a bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
Third period, though, I was like Ottawa's, and not that Ottawa was, I liked their forecheck. I liked the way they were running things. The stuff felt more connected and in sync. They were gritty. I liked that. They were hard on pucks. The battles weren't just lost. Like they weren't second guessing. If a puck was there, someone was going. Third period, though, I was just like, wow, good for you guys. The right team won, in my opinion, in that game. And look, I'm not ripping on Minnesota in this because the World Juniors has taken over their home rink and they've been on a never-ending road trip.
Felt bad for them, man. They're beat up right now. They're so happy to go home for pretty much all January.
My gosh. But like they put out some good performances and like there was still the try there. There was never resting on the fact that we've been on a road trip and we're tired.
Yeah.
None of that. That was never an acceptable excuse for them. It was always effort and playing the right way. And they didn't seem to be frustrated by much. Obviously, they were getting upset. Like they wouldn't be happy with this loss. However, there was still that try right to the final buzzer. So again, that's just them being a really good playoff team.
Yeah. Worth noting, it was mental health awareness night too. I got to meet the Hughes parents, which I was like so pumped about. They were actually on my flight from Toronto to Ottawa too. So Gabby Hughes and Rebecca Leslie, obviously major mental health awareness advocates. Rebecca Leslie was part of founding Do It for Darren when Darren Richardson passed away when she was 14, losing her battle with mental health. And then Gabby Hughes also, girl she used to coach, Sophie Wieland in Minnesota, lost her battle.
Sophie Squad, right, is the name of...
Yes, and they created Sophie Squad. Her dad, Terry, is the president of Sophie Squad, and he was the warrior of the game. He got a big applause. It was so cool for Gabby to see her dad and her mom on the big screen. And that's right when Clarkie scored, too. They were standing right by me when it happened. It was a really cool moment.
No way, sick. I love that. All important things for any young kid listening out there. Don't think you're alone in any of this. We all go through tough stuff, and sometimes it might be hard at first, but it's very important to confide in somebody. It could be anybody, a teacher, a friend, your friend's parent. Your parents are probably the best option, a sibling, whatever. Just let them know if you're going through a hard time because we're all here to help. We're all here to help each other. We all love each other, and that's what this world needs is just a lot more love. So sometimes by opening your mouth, and it doesn't have to be a lot of words. It can just be one or two. It goes a long way. So, and not even young kids, adults too. We're all here. We love you. Feel free to email us. We're here for you. Drop us a DM. We're available and we're here for everybody. So we take that stuff seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a special day in Ottawa. It was cool to have all that celebrated. The therapy dogs were in the house. And
were they?
Yeah, very cool. And just to see Ottawa get a win on that day. Remember last year's Mental Health Awareness Day? Gabby Hughes got 2 goals. Rebecca Leslie got a couple assists. It was also a Minnesota Frost, Ottawa Charge matchup. Anyways, I thought that was special. So I was really happy to see Ottawa get the win for more reasons than just breaking the jocksinjills curse.
Totally. My heart actually hurt a little bit for Maddie Rooney. I don't know what's up at the beginning of the season for her, but I feel bad. It's not like she's playing bad.
Yeah.
She was struggling to find wins.
She was awesome on Sunday, though. We'll talk about that.
Huge.
Yeah, so very happy to see her bounce back there. Okay, takeover tour in Hamilton. Are we good on that game? Okay, we'll keep her moving to the second game of the day. Toronto had some injury updates before this one. Allie Monroe was placed on the LTIR, and Hannah Baskin signs an SPA. She was previously signed to a 10-day agreement and played 2 games under the Scepters. What great atmosphere in Hamilton. Yeah. Really happy to see that takeover tour logo at center ice, rather.
Isn't that cool?
16,000 people in attendance. Like that barn was hopping. And that, I haven't seen it since the renovations, but even before the renovations, I always thought that was a pretty cool rink. You ever been up there in the You ever covered a game there and had to go all the way up?
Not up in the rafters. I've never been up there.
I did color commentary in the O or something like that one time.
Yeah.
And I was like shuffling up. They've got this crazy media gondola that you have to like walk over the entirety of the ice to get to. So it's a classic old barn. I don't know if they have that still with the Renos, like I said, but great building and a great atmosphere created by the Seattle and Toronto fans.
Love it. Yeah. And look, Hamilton wasn't joking around. They understood the magnitude of and the impact that Vancouver had putting their logo at center ice.
Right.
And they're like, now we want a team here. We're going to put your takeover to your logo at center ice. This is your place here. We want you here. And producer Jackie was at the game with her niece and her family. And my parents got to hang it. Obviously, my parents went. Dougie was all over Jackie, just like loved talking. And Jackie was so stoked they were sitting near each other. But my dad coached in the OHL for many years. Big fan of women's hockey. And he came home and he was like, I'm like, so can you just break it down for me? Like, tell me what you saw, what you felt. And he was like, that was entertainment. And I was like, really? He's like, I'm going to put the game aside for a minute. That venue was rocking. Like that was fun. And I was like, really? And like, I've never really heard my dad ever say that about anything. And like, he went to the Olympics and watched his daughter play and I didn't hear him say that. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, no, that was great. And my mom was like, I've never been to a game that was so fun like that. And I was like, amazing. And then my dad was like, the game was back and forth. He likes the look of Seattle, what they got going on right now. And he was just like, wait till they find their footing. Like, I can tell like they're starting to cook, but he's like, wait till they get going. I was like, I've been saying that, Dad. Nonetheless, he was just really proud of both teams and the show that they put on. He was like, it was back and forth hockey. He's like, we got a shootout. You should have seen the goal in the shootout. I'm like, I was watching, like I was home watching. You're at the game, but like, I know. But great back and forth game. Love that Lexia Gia. Her line got going because I feel like this team, the Seattle team, does need depth in scoring. That was a great goal. It was like 20 to 30 seconds of hard work by that line. Michaela Grant-Mentis was in hard on the forecheck, got that puck, kind of went back around, and then Lexi Gia in front just cleaned up the guard. That's what you need. You need those goals. Game in and game out. You got to have that. At least grade A scoring chances like that on the regular from your bottom two lines. And they delivered and have been delivering this line. Watts, I don't know how, I had to watch that replay. I pulled it up on my computer after I saw it on TV. I love that Watts is cruising right now because I'm excited for her. I do think she's cracking the Olympic roster, Obvi. I'm not some guru here by saying that, and I'm not claiming to be. But like her angle on that goal, I was like, how in God's name did she slide that thing in there? Like,
she's so sneaky.
Is there room? Was there space? If that was me, that would have been in the far corner, rimmed out, and pucked down in my end. That's what would have happened. Not Daryl Watts. No way, no how. And like her sellies, I love it. The rink popped off. Obviously, it was tough for Toronto because, albeit Lexi Gia is from in and around the area, but it wasn't a Toronto goal, right? And it was majority Scepters fans there. But nice to see Watts get one and everybody kind of pop off. Spoonsy got one to start for Toronto, which was good to see for Spooner too. Love that Ohio State connection with her and Malte. But can we talk about the shootout for a second? Wilgren?
Oh my gosh, what a move.
What in the Peter Forsberg is going on? And apparently she practices that and they're all aware of it.
Yes, which is awesome. I thought her interview with Rob Pizzo was the funniest thing I've ever seen because what did she say? She's like, yeah, that's my only move. So now you guys know that.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Don't tell us that, Queen.
Yeah.
Like you could have done that 5 times over and people would have forgotten. Like don't announce it.
Truly.
I thought that was so funny.
Because think about it. If they go in 3 more shootouts, okay, let's say her second attempt, they're like, yeah, go do it again, Wilgren. Whoever's in net, it's like, no way she's doing that again. Like I know that. Okay. So then let's say she does it again and succeeds. If they go in another shootout, the goalie's like, no chance in hell she's pulling that out again. But now everyone's like, okay, that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Pads
Gosling was laughing about it post-game too. I thought that was so great. And Gosling 8 points in 8 games. Like
Girl,
just absolutely cruising.
She has found a home. And I think there are certain players who, so like, I'm going to go to Pooh and Abby Rock here. They're so cerebral and see the game differently than everybody that they can actually like play out of this world with each other while the rest of us just observe and watch how amazing they are. And then there are players who sometimes coaches have them pegged as like maybe second or third liners. But if you put them on the first line, all of a sudden you get a whole brand new game out of them. And I think the players that she's playing with, and like with Niter and then like Carp, you know what I mean? I feel like they're pulling stuff out of her that even she was like, this is fun. I
Yeah.
actually like playing like this with players like that because she knows to be in the right spots. It's just a matter, can you feed her? Big body, great shot. Love that she's contributing, and I love that she's found a home. Like her points right now, she had 10 points last year with Toronto in 30 games.
Yeah, she started
She's
to
already
heat up
got
in the
8.
playoffs, and she's just continued that right through the start of the season with Seattle.
Good for you.
Shout out to Alex Carpenter too, joining the 50 club with Daryl Watts and Marie-Philippe Poulin. Sent that one to OT with that 50th point as a PWHL player. Feels like a proper group, eh? Carpy, Watts, Poulin.
Coin now.
Coin on Sunday.
Makes sense.
So that all checks out to me.
Yeah. And then there's only going to be more, really, as we go. But it'll just be like a race to 100 now.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Detroit. Third game of that day. Vancouver at Boston. Nina Jobe-Smith activated from LTIR. Malia Schneider headed to the team's reserve player list. What'd you think of this one? Tight game, back and forth. I didn't get to see as much of this one. I went back and watched all the goals and stuff.
You dipped into the highlights, did you?
I did. This
is a gritty game that I'm happy for Vancouver. Because I feel like Boston, especially in the first period, was really Boston. And I was like, oof, hold on, Vancouver. And they just kept playing great, albeit, and they kept out chancing Vancouver. Like, I think they outchanced them by a landslide. I think I got to pull it up, but I think I think Boston had like something like 21 or 22 scoring chances, which is a lot. To Vancouver's 14, but it's okay to have that when you have a 10D like MASH.
Yeah.
But you can't sustain that through an entire season, and that definitely isn't going to fly in the playoffs. However, I thoroughly enjoyed that Vancouver figured out how to get a win out of a game like this. You know how with Boston, I always say you really can't give them a chance because they capitalize on everything. I felt like Vancouver took that page out of their notebook in this game and turned the game into theirs a little bit in the third period. I liked for Boston that Mobley is cruising right now. She got her third of the season. It came off like a very disconnected, sloppy play by Vancouver. It should have been a simple exit. It was a breakout pass far closest side to us. It was missed. Boston came back in, whatever. Mobley gets the goal. And I think that was a moment where Vancouver was kind of like, we're better than this. You know, like, what is this? And I was like, put your game together. Like, you ladies are all great hockey players. It's tape to tape. And it's not just in this league, it's not only making one good tape to tape pass, you got to string at least 2 together, and 3 in this league. And it felt like they were struggling with that at first. Miller's goal was great. She did exactly what I was yelling at Fillier for, walking in the slot and letting it rip. So Miller, internalize that and use that all of the time, and your team will be incredibly successful. And Vancouver is just going to have you on a pedestal. Tap's goal, very Boston to me. It was just like, we're going to send a 50-50 puck out there and go win the battle. And they did. Tapped it. A tap went right to the slot, got a shot. Perfect, beautiful, great goal. I loved Ratty Selly. I was laughing at it when she scored the stick slap, like, oh my gosh, thank you, kind of thing. But I just have to say, the way the character that Vancouver showed, you know, the power play goal by Sophie Jakes, shot first mentality. Love that. You need it. The game-winning goal was gross. Like, Gardner, what a play, pal. That was beautiful. Nice play to Izzy Daniel. For Izzy Daniel to out-muscle Megan Keller, who is, like we say, one of the best D, if not the best D in the league. She had her stick on you, and she was technically tied up and still managed to put that thing home. Not only with the best defender on her, but also past one of the best goalies in the league. So props to this team for gutting this one out. I hope they hold on to all the things that they did right, specifically in the third period. Their game looked great. And they carry that stuff forward. For Boston, I think they're going to take what they need from this game and throw the rest away and move on, because that's just the type of team that they are.
Yeah. And after this game, Tessa, you texted me and I was like, no, there's no way. It was the funniest thing. It wasn't funny, but there is something, and you knew they were going to hop out of it. They're no longer sitting in it, but something about seeing the Montreal Victoires sitting in last place among the 8 PWHL teams. Like, you just have to screenshot that and, you know, keep it in your notes, because you know you won't see it very often. I don't know. It was just, it's early in the season. Carla McLeod says it all the time. This is like a 500 league. Teams beat teams all the time. Anyone could beat anyone on any given night.
Yeah. And it was to the point where I was like, oof, let's see how Montreal comes out in their game against Minnesota.
I was scared going to the rink personally.
Because for Minnesota, it's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
So you're just like emptying the tank, don't care. And they played that way. For Montreal, I was just like, let's see it. You have to show us. Because one, Pooh's pissed.
Yeah.
One, she doesn't like losing. Two, she's not a last place person. So that ain't happening. Two, the fans really care a lot. And I'm not saying fans don't care in other markets, but like this is a very rambunctious, educated fan base.
Montreal has amazing fans.
That
like,
lets their
amazing fans.
Yep, lets their franchises hear it when they ain't happy.
Yep.
And then you got the reporters also on the players and coaches' tails for all of this. So it's like there's a lot of baggage that Montreal was carrying into this game and a lot to be playing for. Lena Lundblom was activated off LTIR for this game.
Yep.
Minnesota at Montreal.
She's been battling Mono, so I'm glad she's feeling better.
Giaquinto, yeah. Ambrose out of this game with an illness. So she wasn't even in the building. Probably best because there's lots of bad stuff going around.
Everybody, like they had to do Minnesota had to do a last second goalie change. Like seems like everybody in North America has some sort of flu or illness right now. So
yeah, it was supposed to be Hensley's game and Rooney was back between the pipes. So and I was kind of, I don't want to say I like nothing against Hensley, but I was kind of happy for Rooney to be able to get back in there.
And she was great on Sunday.
Phenomenal. Coming off her loss against Ottawa, I was like, how much is that going to be in her head? And it wasn't at all. She's such a goalie. She's just like, yeah, whatever. This is my game. Next shot. But like I said, this was the light at the end of tunnel for Minnesota. Your interview with Lee Stecklein, obviously her being one of the leaders and voices in the locker room, I thought was perfect. And it just reiterates kind of what Ken Klee preaches. But she was just like, it's just one shift at a time.
Yeah.
And it was just so simple and matter of fact. And she was comfortable and okay. And she's just like, we just got to keep rolling. And whoever's up next, that's your job to go out and be your best in your next shift. And that's how they roll. And that's why they're a really hard team to play against. And Montreal got a taste of that again. I felt like, again, Montreal was getting some glorious chances. There was like 2 or 3 times, I think, where there was a puck in the slot and Abby Rock was about to like whack it in and Minnesota got a stick on it. And I'm like, oh no, here we go again. Montreal, like, what are we doing? Because when a team has players like Kelly Panic and Kendall Coyne-Schofield on their team that are like literally leaving the charge and setting the precedent for their team, it's tough to play against a team like that because they are opportunistic and when they do get a grip on you, they hold real tight. And they were. Kelly Panic is out of her face. I can't wait to see her perform at the Olympics. I'm so proud of her. I can't imagine what Molly's feeling, her mom, how proud she must be of her daughter. She's one of the most impressive players in the league for me right now.
Yeah.
Just always playing the right way. And it blows my mind and I don't ever want her to have one, but I've never seen, I can honestly say I've never seen Kelly Panic have a bad game.
Yeah.
Maybe
she doesn't jump off the page, but she's never going to be a detriment to what you're trying to do out there.
There's never been a play where I'm like, Kelly Panic made a wrong choice there. That's going to eat her up a little bit. I've never said that about her, not at any level. She's such a consistent player that this year is finding ways to contribute. It's like she caught the Lee Stecklein flu.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the storm flu.
It's great to see. It was ARD. Her eyes were taken away on the Batherson goal. That was Kelly Panic's help. Batherson, by the way.
Wow,
I love that she's getting a lot more ice time.
Yeah.
Look, those 3 defenders took off and just opened up a ton more ice time for Batherson. So we're finally seeing what she's capable of.
Yeah.
6-game point streak for her. Like, okay, have at it, girl. Keep that rolling. Love to see it. So does Ken Klee. And I think that's just a product of ice time and confidence. And Ken Klee even said it. That's the difference between a first-year player and a second-year player.
Yeah.
Sure. You're comfortable. You know the players. You know the league. You know what your body feels like. You know how to recover. You know how to prepare. And then you got, like I said, leaders like Panic Coyne, Stecklein leading the way. And all you got to do is follow suit. And it's really working well for her. She's found a great spot on this team. Shout out to Kendall Coyne, we mentioned earlier, 50-point club. Hey-yo, with the apple on the goal. There was a point where I was like, oh, here we go. When Tabin came out of the box and went on a breakaway, Rooney. I was like, there it is, Rooney. There's your juju. You got it, girl. Like she had it back. She kept her team in it. She was seeing the puck so well in this game.
Yeah.
But would it even be like a Montreal Victoire win if Pooh just didn't take over an entire game? And
Score from her stomach, like
dude,
again?
like, can we get more dive goals? I don't know. It's crazy to me. But this line, I'm going to talk on this line for a little bit. When you watch this line play, it's not just great players playing. I want you to ISO Abby Rock, everybody, when they're out there. And it's not what Abby Rock does when she has the puck. It's when she doesn't have the puck. You watch her, as soon as she realizes that Pooh is going to get the puck, she immediately jumps into soft ice or open ice, okay? And if Stacy has the puck, she's immediately calling for it from Stacy, and she has an eye where Pooh is. And if Pooh isn't necessarily an open spot, she already knows where she needs to go to create a lane for Pooh. It is beautiful. It is so nice to watch. And I just laugh watching it because it's like, it seems too easy and it seems unfair, but that is just hockey IQ at its finest, where two players are just literally toying with everybody out there and having a blast playing the game. Now, albeit they were frustrated at certain points because obviously things weren't going their way, but you knew it was going to come. And they didn't quit. And you even saw after Abby Rock scored the game-tying goal.
That tip was stunning. Truly stunning.
It was it was a Watts angle. How the hell does that happen? And then she went right to the bench and she was like, let's go. You heard her yell, get another one. And it was like, that's the hunger that this team has needed in years past. Like, okay, cool. We don't want overtime. We want all 3 points.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it was like, and it's not like she was saying, Corey, keep us out there. I want to go get another one. No, she was like passing on that confidence and that trust in the next line that was out there. Like, let's go. We got this. Come on. In overtime, you saw as soon as that penalty was being called and the extra player jumped on, which was Pooh, whoever was out there, everyone knew, just give it to her.
Yeah.
And as soon as it went back to her, I was like, oh, game over. And I'd watched this game late. I was like, do you know who won? I'm like, no, Mary's about to score, and she scored. And I was like, that's just what Mary does. She had
such little space.
And like she caught, it was on a backhand.
Yeah.
And she caught, I think Rooney thought she was going to go back cross ice. I think she thought it was a feed.
Okay.
Because I watched it a couple times. I was like, how'd she even squeaker that in? And she caught Rooney on, I don't even know if Rooney caught an edge or whatever, but it looked like she was about to push off back right.
Right.
To the right side of the net.
Okay.
Anyways, goal scores goal. You just know when to put it in. You have goalies thinking all the time. It's hard when a player is such a dual threat where they can shoot and score or make a beautiful pass, and it's overtime and there's an extra player on the ice. And I don't know. I felt bad Rooney didn't get the win, but I was proud of her for getting her team a point.
Yes.
Because she was getting peppered in this game and there were a ton of great scoring chances. That's not taking anything away from ARD. I thought Desbiens played great, but I have to talk about Rooney and give her flowers in this one because that was a hell of a game. Great for Minnesota to get the point, but tough. They lost Petrie. She went down. I was confused as to why it was her knee, but then again, when we saw the Spooner blow her knee last year or the year before, was it the first season? Yeah. It didn't even look like a bad hit, but it was a knee injury nonetheless. And you saw her favoring her leg. I don't know if it was an ankle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I hope for her, because she's been having a fantastic season to date, that it is a minor issue that is just going to be some time off and she can return to her glorious self and playing fantastic hockey for her team.
Yeah. I was standing right behind there when that happened, when she took that hit, and she was in a lot of pain, man. Like she was in a lot of pain. Like it was sick to my stomach levels if she was in a lot of pain. So I'm thinking of Dom's Petrie. She's such a great player, such a great person.
Yeah,
she
friend of the
was
show.
off to an awesome start last year and it was derailed by injury.
Yeah.
Obviously still able to hoist the Walter Cup last year despite that injury. Yeah, like you said, it was lower body. She was out for the game. So we'll update there when we hear more. We're thinking of Dom's Petrie, hoping it's not long term.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the games that went down this week. And we want to take a second to tell you about Sober Carpenter, the official non-alcoholic beer of the PWHL. Sober Carpenter is a Canadian craft brewery dedicated to non-alcoholic beer that's brewed with the same care and ingredients as traditional craft beer, but crafted for those who don't want the hangover. It's full flavor, zero compromise on taste or quality. There's a wide range of styles from bold IPAs to smooth lagers and seasonal releases. I was liking the pumpkin one during the fall time season. They're perfect for any occasion, celebrating, training, or taking a night off. They provide award-winning taste recognized at international beer competitions and are proudly Canadian since 2019. They're available at your favorite grocery store across Canada, or you can order them online at sobercarpenter.com. Thank you very much.
I had a bunch of the Sober Carpenter beers out and their cocktails out when we were hosting all of our family and friends.
Nice.
And it was the talk of the party. People were enjoying them. Some didn't even realize they were non-alcoholic. My mother, who is off the booze, she loves them. Like, I did not see her walking around my house with that one in her hand. She was just like, I got sent a blueberry test flavor beer and it knocked my socks off. I was like, I need more than one of these. I only got shipped one of these. I need like 12 of these.
I love blueberry beer. I got to try
But
that out. That's
this
awesome.
was something. So Sober Carpenter, I'm not just saying this to pump their tires. Everybody out there, get on the Sober Carpenter train because this stuff is no joke. They do a fantastic job. Their mocktails or cocktails, whatever you want to call them, are also banging. They're unreal.
Yeah. Shout out to Sober Carpenter and Clever Mocktail, official non-alcoholic beverages of the PWHL. And now it is time for our interview segment brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL. On or off the ice, feel the bubbles melt. I got to hang out with Grace Zumwinkle a bit this weekend. Like,
Did
not
you?
really. Like, just kind of said hi in the hallways and stuff like that. I'm worried that Minnesota, Katie Knoll, after the game was like, Julia, that's 2 games in a row that we didn't win that we were at. So, like, I
Ooh.
can't make... No, that's not a thing. We were in the building when they won the Walter Cup.
True.
Yeah, I said, no, Katie, don't do this to me. Like, I can't
Both
make
years.
an enemy in every city. Like, please,
Yeah.
like, don't do this to me right now. I can't deal with the frost being on me right now. Like, I
Yeah.
just got in Ottawa's good books and Montreal's, I think, too. Grace, though, she was like, why didn't you wear your pink headband? She thought that was maybe lucky for the Minnesota frost. I didn't have it on the road trip. So next time I do a frost game, I will wear my pink headband. Grace Zumwinkle is honestly one of my favorite characters in the league. She is so great. She's so fun to talk to. She's always smiling and laughing. And we had a ton of smiles and laughs in this interview. So here's Grace Zumwinkle on the jocksinjills podcast. Okay, she's back. We cannot get enough of Grace Zumwinkle on the jocksinjills podcast. She is a back-to-back Walter Cup champ, everybody's favorite golden retriever to Taylor Heisey's black cat. And we're so pumped to have her on in the middle of a long road trip. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I honestly had to look at the t-shirt that you guys sent us to figure out if you were the black cat or the golden retriever. I was like, I forget which one I
take
am
that as a
even.
compliment though, because then it's not that obvious.
I don't really
Yeah.
know what they mean. I'm not going to lie. Like I know that there's the reference, but I'm always just like, I don't know which is which. So
Remember Ken Klee had to explain it to us one time? And honestly, Grace, I think what he said is like, Grace, you want to walk up and talk to Grace every day. Every day you want to walk up and talk to Grace. Sometimes with Taylor, you got to avoid her. And that's how he explained it to us. And I
mean, that is
completely
pretty
understand that because
accurate.
I need to be avoided on certain days as well. So it's all good.
I'm going to have to tell her that because I don't think she knows that, but I don't think she would disagree. That's funny
I think it's
though.
on the podcast. Like, I don't think I'm speaking out of terms. I'm pretty sure it's recorded on the
It's out
episode he
there.
was on.
We'll
Like,
send her the clip.
you could cross-reference.
That is iconic. I mean, as
When did
Taylor
the-
describes it, she goes, the golden retriever is like the baby Bjorn you want to bring home to your parents. And like the black cat's the one that you're just like, I don't know. So that's how she describes it. But that's funny.
Okay,
so
that
she's
makes
saying
sense.
she's not sure if anybody would want to take her home.
I mean, Parker for sure deals with it, but that's just how she describes it.
How did this start again? Was it on the bus and you were all assigning animals?
Yeah, we like the first year we were assigning animals to like people's personalities. So like someone was a black panther, someone was like a great white shark. And then there was a TikTok trend at the time of like every black cat has a golden retriever type friendship. And that's how it started.
Right.
Aww.
TikTok trends.
It's true. Every black cat does need a golden retriever. Like that's Tessa, it's kind of our dynamic as well. Like we even look at right now with my dark hair and your like little lighter outfit. Like we definitely represent that dynamic as well. Sometimes
Totally.
no one wants to answer my emails and everybody will always want to talk to Tessa. How can I get so mad about Instagram? I don't know, but I am definitely the black cat in our relationship.
Yeah.
You guys also were going to like some games while you were in Toronto. You guys were at every game, but you were pretty low down for the Raptors game. I feel like
How
you
do
guys
you
are
guys
kind of
end
everywhere.
up everywhere?
Well, we have a little bit of an in. Jamison Battle, who's good friends with Parker, he's on the team. So he helped us out with some tickets. So when we're in town and they're playing, we try to go as much as we can.
But it's not even like it's everywhere. It's every game. Like you're at every Lynx game, court side, right under the basket. I'm like, what are they doing? And it wasn't even like one game. You guys were like, I'm like, are they season ticket Like, what are they
come on,
doing
season
there?
tickets? I'm just kidding. But I just feel like if we have the opportunity to go, we might as well go, not just sit at home. So
Yeah.
we try to get out and about.
Is that your favorite spectator sport, basketball?
Well, when you're courtside, I mean, what's wrong with it? But Taylor has to sometimes explain some things to me of like basketball because like she comes from a basketball family and I'm like more of a novice when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just like the atmosphere and it's fun when we go.
Fair. You guys were even on the field for a football game at one
Yeah.
point. Was that
Oh,
with
at
the
the
Walter
Vikings,
Cup?
yes.
Like what? Would you just wander down there and just be like, I got 2 Walter Cup rings here. May I?
I don't know if that will
Everyone's
get you
like,
very
yeah.
far though.
No, in Minnesota, it has to. You guys have to have like the key to the city with those
100%.
2 Walter Cup rings. Like the men's team is sort of good now, but you guys are back-to-back champs. You
Yeah,
guys
they're
gotta
on a
have keys to
heater
the
with
city.
Quinn Hughes joining them.
I know. It's kind of wild to watch, honestly. That power play now is almost as good as your guys'.
As soon as they picked up Quinn Hughes, my dad was like, well, Minnesota's going for it. And I was like, oh, they might have 2 championship teams in their city.
Yeah, that'd
we'll
be cool.
See. We'll see.
Be nice if somebody else could put something in the rafters. Like, gosh, you guys are just putting in work every year, filling them up.
They own the real estate.
Could we go all the way back though, Grace? Like we've had you on this show before, but I don't feel like we've gotten to do the deep dive, going all the way back to Minnesota when you started playing hockey. Like how were you introduced to the game originally?
Yeah, it's a funny story, but I actually got into it because of a kindergarten class crush.
Stop.
He came to school with a flyer and I wanted to do everything that he did. Like if he was joining T-ball, I was joining T-ball, like everything. So he brought the flyer home to school and I brought it home to my parents. And my dad was like, I don't know about this one. And I was like, no, like I really want to do it. So he signed me up, went and bought the whole starter kit. Like it was like $150 at the time, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And the night before the first practice, I sat crying in my bed telling my dad I didn't want to go anymore. And he's like, no, we are going. Like I spent all this money signing you up, whatever. So we showed up to the first day and I had never skated before. And I literally held on to the boards of the bench the entire time. Like I did not move, I did not skate. And like in Minnesota, it's like there's so many NHL kids who are out there just like skating around. And I was by far like a liability out there. And I got off and I looked at my parents and I was like, I was the best one out there. Yeah. And my parents were like, did not want to shatter the confidence. But long story short, that's how I got into hockey.
When you said that to your parents, your dad was probably like, oh no, I got a goalie.
Probably, yeah.
And like, was the crush there? Did he attend?
Yes,
Did you
he was
talk to
there.
him?
Funny story, but he actually ended up going to the University of Minnesota too. And we had some college classes together. But
like, did he play as well?
No, he played like club hockey there, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
That's hilarious.
And from there, like, where did you play minor? Did you play girls minor hockey or did you play boys?
Yeah, I played boys starting up and then girls kind of took off in Minnesota. So it's Minnetonka. There's been a lot of people like Sid Morin's from there. I'm trying to think of some other people. But yeah, then I ended up going to a smaller private high school called Breck.
Breck, yeah. So you were the leader. I'm assuming all your sisters followed suit. Your dad probably was like, I got 3 girls. I guess I don't know if I'll get a hockey player out of any of them. And sure enough.
He was a football player. So, I mean, like, it's not like any of us were going to go play football. So
we could play flag.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little aggressive. Yeah, but then both my sisters got into it after the fact. So something we've all bonded over.
Because
are your parents hockey fans? Like, were they fans before you guys started playing, or were they just kind of exclusively?
No, but it's funny growing up. Whenever like someone would get heated in the car ride home, I'm like, I want to see you skate because none of them have ever skated. But yeah,
that's such a kill shot coming from a child in the back seat.
Yeah, with attitude and a poker face. Show me then.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'll wait. Which is kind of cool. Like I feel like you and your sisters are pretty tight. I remember first year of the P-Dub at the award ceremony, your sister was there. She had just committed to Ohio State. So I was really giving it to you about getting you some Ohio State gear, which I'm sure you're still waiting on. But that's pretty sweet in high school. Like you got to play with both. You played with Anna longer, obviously. And then I think it was your 5th year?
Yeah.
Senior year, whatever. You played with your younger sister, Emily. So how cool is that? that you got to at least like rip around with them? Or did you play with them growing up too? Were your parents like, no, too bad you guys were all on the same team. I'm not going to like 7 different rinks.
No, well, in high school, I played with my older sister for most of it. And then I got a year with my younger sister. But it was funny. We had a coach that coached all 3 of us. And he like saw my dad a few years ago. And he goes, the difference between Grace and Emily is I couldn't get one to talk and I couldn't get one to shut up. And then he goes, and the difference between Anna and Grace is that when someone would get knocked down, Anna would like help them back up and be like, are you okay? And Grace would just take a stick on the back and just do another one-timer at them. So that's funny. But I don't know, it's just something we've always enjoyed together. And like as sisters, we don't really fight, which is very uncommon. So I think it worked for us, but I know it doesn't work for everyone.
No fights, like no clothing wars, no
Nothing?
locker boxing.
No.
Like, do you guys all have really different style? What do you think it is?
No, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of us are just very like go with the flow.
Mm,
Golden retrievers. You're like a pack
Yeah.
of golden retrievers.
bunch of farts in the wind. That's what I would call it. Nothing really bugs you. You just go where the wind blows you.
Yeah, I love it.
When you and Heisey met for the first time, was it during your first year on the under 18 team?
Yeah, I mean, we've like played against each other, so we definitely knew who each other were. But in terms of like a friendship, it wasn't until the U18s and then all throughout college together as well.
Yeah. So was Black Cat Golden Retriever like immediately initiated when you guys first met at U18? Like, what do you remember about little baby Heisey at under 18s? Because she was
I
a
could
year
show you some
younger than you, right?
pictures, but like we are from 2 very different areas in Minnesota, as I'm sure she's told you. But like I'm from more of the city and she's from more of a farm town. And so I was like, she would drive up 3 hours or so every single day. And I'm like, who is this girl that is so dedicated when like, I'm like 45-minute drive is a long time for people in the city. But I don't know, I was always amazed by her work ethic and her commitment. And I feel like we got closer in college and just spending time together.
Was she
Yeah.
like Taylor from the farm at first, or has she always been Skate McRae? Like, did she have a Hannah
I feel
Montana
like
glow
Skate
up?
McRae has kind of came to evolution later on, but I feel like she always kind of had a version of that.
Yeah, she's always had style and stuff, even when she was.
I mean, she might. We were reminiscing about old pictures when she had like a bob and glasses.
A bob and glasses.
Well, the
Like,
glasses
what?
is not surprising, guys. Wait, what do you
You're
mean, like
very
sunglasses?
Yeah,
Sunglasses or
we-
real glasses?
Because when we were in Chicago, her mom was showing us these pictures, and I was just like, it was like a side part with bangs. Oh, it was good.
Oh, those side parts with the like swoopy bangs had us in such a chokehold. I don't know. I just wanted the Tumblr photo of like me looking down with my.
But were they real
bangs.
glasses, like reading
Yes,
ones?
real.
Really?
Does she rock contacts now?
It was like the classic rectangle frame with like the wire bar across. You know what I'm talking about? And like,
I
Yep.
do.
yeah,
Did she have braces at the same time?
I don't know. I would assume, but
That's
Right.
good. That's character development. It
Yeah,
really is. Did you guys hit
absolutely.
it off right away at U18s?
yeah, because like there was a lot of people from Minnesota, but I feel like I knew her the best out of anyone. So like I look back at old pictures and I'm like, oh, this is full circle moment.
Yeah, that's pretty
Aw.
cool. Those under 18, you guys went back to back golds with those under 18 teams, hey?
Yeah, I think one of the years, and we were always like so proud of Minnesota people. And one year it had like 16 of 23 people were from Minnesota.
Wow.
You basically had like a Minnesota all-star team. Yeah, we don't need anybody else. We're just going to take the state of Minnesota. We'll be back with the gold real quick. But if you looked at the rosters, like there was Brown, Broad, Barnes, Snodgrass, you had Comfer, you had Gabby Hughes, you had Simpson, Bookbinder, you had Petrie one year, Murphy, am I right?
Yeah.
Murphy and DeGeorge, like
Yeah.
duh. Like no wonder you guys were winning. Like it's kind of like looking back now, you're like, well, yeah, if they didn't win, that's like a tragedy. But like looking back, aside from everybody just being bosses and now, some pretty big name players in the PW, like what about that under 18 team or those teams like really made you guys successful and actually win? Because like I find winning at an under 18 level is really, really hard because there's top end to, I don't even like bottom end, I guess we'll say there's kind of a discrepancy in skill and game understanding.
I feel like the biggest thing is like when you get exposed to the U18, it's like the first time you're like, oh, I'm not the best on the team. Like it's kind of like a gut check in the sense of like, oh, I might be on a third or fourth line and being okay with that. And I think the coaching staff really emphasize that point at an early age. And it's like something that is carried with, I think, like you ask anybody today, is like, you're not always going to be on the first line. You're not always going to be the star of the team, and being okay with that role and whatever it is. And I think that was like the biggest thing our team kind of at that point learned a lesson early on, which suited everyone very well into their careers.
Yeah. Who stands out from that roster in your head? Like who was making you laugh in the dressing room? Like who were the characters on that team in your mind?
I mean, Cor Kennedy's always a character. She was one of the
she was the
coaches,
coach.
and like
Oh,
she
I
can just
forgot
make
that.
everyone laugh. But I don't know. I feel like it's just like people get the Snapchat memories of like 5 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. And I think it's like those times that make people laugh the most. But Cor Kennedy was definitely a ringleader in the comedic category.
And she wasn't even she was a player back in the day, but she was the assistant coach. That's the best.
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff was she pulling, Coach Court?
Just her like one-liners in her Boston accent. I can't even try to replicate it because I will not do its justice.
It's okay,
But
we try.
yeah.
I
Go
try
ahead.
every week.
Go ahead.
I just love her. I want to talk just like her. She's so awesome.
We all want to be Coach Courtney secretly. But yeah, honestly, she's a beauty. And like, you always hear everybody, even with the players when she was coaching with the national team, is just like, Coach Courtney really saved it, like things got tense, but thank God we had Coach Courtney there. And it's like, I just want to be in a locker room with the girl. Like, I never played with her. It was always going to be against her,
Yeah,
Tough.
and now she's the U18 coach, the head coach.
I know.
And I like always tell these girls, I'm like, you guys are so lucky.
Yeah, it'd be so fun to play for her.
I wonder though, as head coach, do you think she cracks the whip now? Like there's no fun Coach Courtney?
No, there always has to be fun with Coach Courtney.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't imagine it would go away. Like, how do you take the fun out of Coach Courtney? It's just not possible.
No.
It's not a thing. When it came to choosing where you were going to go to college, were you always going to stay in state? Did you look elsewhere?
So originally I thought my older sister and I were going to go together, probably out east to an Ivy League. So we kind of looked at those originally. And then when it kind of came down to make a decision and I toured Minnesota, I knew it was like always a goal of mine growing up in Minnesota, going to those games. It's like, how can you pass it up? But there was some other schools in contention. It wasn't Minnesota all along. So
who were they? Come on, give us the list. Who
it was
lost
more
the
of
Great
the Ivy
Zumwinkle
Leagues, like
sweepstakes?
Princeton or Harvard or
Cool.
Dartmouth. But I do think like going to those college tours, and like now it's so different with college commitments and everything, but it kind of made you see like what you don't like, and kind of finding a fit. But Nadine Muzzerall has the quote, talk about Ohio. She goes, college recruiting is like dating. It's got to be a mutual fit both ways. And I do think it's like a good comparison because it's like one school can't want you, but you don't want them, and vice versa. And I think that's a great analogy for the process.
So when you were growing up going to those Gopher games, who were the players that you were watching?
It was like Amanda Kessel. I do think Lee Steckline was maybe a freshman or sophomore at the time.
No way, baby Lee.
Yeah, but they had such a dynasty at the time, and obviously winning so many championships, it's kind of hard to pass them up when they came calling.
Yeah. You still take all your finance classes at U of M?
I did, yeah. I mean, not anymore, but me and Kelly Panic, actually, I had her tutoring me for a little bit in some finance classes. Yeah. When she was a senior and I was a sophomore, I'm like, I need help with this. So she had been through all the classes before, so she helped me out.
Is she a good school tutor? Like,
I mean, she's smart. So, but I'm like, can you just like help me? I mean, it's not like
Can you do my work is what you said?
I know. I don't find smart people to be the best teachers sometimes. Sometimes the smarter person you get, they're just like, come on, just figure it out.
She didn't want her help. She wanted her help to do the work. Can you please just finish this answer for me? I really got to get out of here.
You just wanted the answers. That
There's
makes
a bar
sense.
stool with my name on it. I got to go.
I have to get there. Because hockey, like right from freshman year, Grace, like you were ripping it up right away with Minnesota. Like what made that transition so smooth for you?
I mean, it was so different because it was an Olympic year my freshman year.
Right.
So we were missing like the Potomac twins and Kelly. And so I think it was just like the coaches having that belief in me, and obviously like scoring early on, like it kind of eases and it's not all about scoring, I'm not saying that, but like when you kind of get your feet underneath you early, you're not like gripping your stick too tight. And I think that helped. And I knew a lot of the girls already on the team. So that transition socially made it that much easier.
That's cool. Yeah, I think A lot of people knock those Olympic years when like, oh, all the good, the top end players were gone. It's like, well, what a dream for a coach. Like you finally get an opportunity to give other kids opportunities to see what they're capable of doing. So you kind of get like an inside look, a new look on your team. And it's like for your freshman year to walk in and be like, all right, I'll do everything. I'll just score all of the goals and get all of the points, guys. Don't worry. Was Frosty the coach for you the whole time?
Yeah, he was. And then Bethany Browson, who is actually now the head coach at St. Thomas, she was the assistant coach and she actually coached me in high school as well. So I was familiar with them.
You were a point a game your freshman year. That's insane. Like that's certifiably insane. Like when I saw that, I'm like, no way. And then I looked at your super senior year and I was like, oh my God. Did anyone get any points against you guys that year? That's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. What'd you have in your senior year? I think you had what, 61 points?
I don't know, but
is that what it was? You know your stats. Tell me. I know you know.
No, I honestly couldn't even tell you.
61 points in 38 games. 61 points in 38
That's wild, girl.
games. That's so unfair.
Who was your line? Like you look at KK Harvey and she already has 41 points and I don't even know how many games. Like I think she's leading that NCAA in points right now.
Yeah, she's on video game mode.
Yeah.
She's just like...
That's what it is.
Out there with the controller and no one knows what she's doing. She's hitting X and spinning around. Like that's crazy stuff to watch. I don't even know how to ask this. Like, are you prone to animal problems? Do you have further context on this?
Well, okay, it's funny. I'm in the relationship with Taylor and I'm the golden retriever, but I'm actually afraid of dogs.
Oh, okay.
I got bit by a Doberman in an elevator one time.
Aww.
And a friend like had part of her cheek bit off.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's sad and scary. I'm thinking more like vermin, like bats, raccoons, outdoor animals.
Raccoons. Yeah, it was funny. At the rivalry series, I have a camera in my backyard or like facing my deck at my house. And I was like, guys, we have been having raccoon issues, like them getting into our trash. And I was like, guys, I think the raccoon is on our deck. And so I was showing people the video camera and they're like, Grace, that's a cat. And I was like, no, like there's 2 instances where I was like showing people and I was convinced. I was like, look at the tail, everything. And they're like, Grace, that's a cat. But the raccoons like got in our trash and scattered it all out the yard. And it was embarrassing.
Oh, can I tell you guys something? I actually have like kind of an agreement with the raccoons living at my house. Like but Grace, like it goes in, I swear it opens it, eats its little all-you-can-eat buffet, and then closes it and leaves. I'm not kidding. Like the raccoons in my neighborhood are chill.
Does the lid ever stay open?
No, that's the thing. Like I know he was in there. I think it's because, I don't know, we got these mandated ones, got these big lids, and they kind of, I think he shimmies in and then shimmies out. So maybe he doesn't shut it with his hands, but I like to picture that. Like I like to picture that he's part of the team and he wants to help me out and I let him eat the garbage and then he closes the lid for me.
Very respectful. Very.
Right? I've got respectful raccoons. You got cats though? Like have you been chosen by the cat distribution system?
I don't know, but I haven't had the issue since. So
have you been chosen by the what?
The cat distribution. Like, did the universe give you a cat? Like, are you meant to have a cat?
But I don't like cats either, so.
Tessa says the same thing. I feel like you do, secretly.
I never said I don't like cats.
Sorry, I'm slandering you. That's not true. You didn't say that.
No, but cats, you like never know where they are, and then the eyes will just like appear out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that's true. That part is a little bit unsettling.
They're just sneaking around. It's okay. I mean, people give cats a bad name because there are some grumpy cats, right?
Yeah.
Just like there are some really crappy dogs.
Right.
Know what I mean? But for whatever reason, no one lumps I think, you know why? I think it's because all cats look relatively the same. They just have like different colored fur and stuff, whereas dogs actually look different. So one bad cat means all of the cats are just like that one cat. So then everyone's like, cats suck. And then dogs are like, just that breed is yappy. But this breed is great. So it's just like cats get blanketed.
It's because cats get like associated with women too. So people are like, they must be the worst. Like it just goes back to sexism. Chalk it up to sexism. Even the cats get it. Like, great. Goddamn world. Anyways, we love cats here on Jocks and Jills. Grace, you secretly like them. You don't have to.
Secretly,
the ones in your yard. You leave food out for, right?
You're so worried about her yard cats, Julia.
I know. I don't even know how to get back
Next
to the
time
hockey
I
stuff.
see one, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, please do. We would like to see the yard cats. I would also like to talk about what it was like to, transition to the PWHL from college. I'm going to try to find my way back to hockey after we were talking about cats. But what do you remember about entering into the PWHL draft?
I mean, I think it was so nerve-wracking, not like nerve-wracking, but you're like, this is the first time where you're like, I might not be in Minnesota or I could be sent anywhere. And I think obviously like Minnesota was the team that if they had a team that I wanted to play for, but it was kind of the first time where like, this is a true professional organization and league. And I think to see the growth that it's had over all the years. And I think the biggest thing that was eye-opening was just the physicality. And I think you've seen the evolution of it in the game, but I think that was kind of the most eye-opening thing for me and a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt. You had a hell of a season. Obviously, you saw Taylor get drafted first, and then you right after. So the Black Cat, the Golden Retriever stay together. Was your family just as elated as you were that you were Minnesota bound? And then when expansion happened, how were you just like, oh man, I could potentially be leaving Minnesota just like draft day?
Yeah, I think like on draft day, you were like, I think there were so many people, so many names, and like, I don't know, what was it, 15 rounds or something. So you're like, I have an idea of where I'll go roughly, but it's like, I've talked to teams and you're like, I don't even know when you're building a roster from scratch, like how that process goes. But then when expansion, I think that was a little bit more nerve wracking than the first draft, but it all worked out.
Yeah. Was everybody like, was your group text, your team text chat just going off? Be honest.
No, but after the fact, Taylor FaceTimed me and she was crying. And
Was she?
Aw,
and Parker, and she was just like, I'm so happy. And there was some tears shed between the two of us. But yeah, it was a sigh of relief.
Was Parker crying too?
No.
The
He was just
throuple
laying on the
stays
couch
together.
like, yeah, this is great.
Honestly, throuple is the right word for it. I associate the three of you in a group, honestly.
Yeah,
like
as
how
one.
how will you be involved in their wedding? Are you like the flower girl? Are you officiating? Like I feel like you need a prominent role.
Yeah.
I'm the maid of honor.
Oh, that's gonna be so nice.
Flower girl?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like what?
It felt kind of fun. I might make Buckles my flower girl.
You guys might need to crash.
thinking
You guys might need to
legitimately
crash.
about
You can
that.
set up your podcast there.
Oh, man.
We would love to.
Just
I was going to
kidding.
say that me and Taylor should do like, remember that show, Four Weddings, where the brides like go to one another's weddings and like,
Yes.
maybe I'm going back into
Oh,
my TLC
yeah.
days.
And then they comment on every wedding and they all rip each other's weddings apart.
I was going to say to Heisey that we should do that, go to swap weddings, go to one another's. So honestly, I would love to have you, her, and Parker at our wedding.
Yeah.
Could just be the
We'll
two of
be
you. It would
in.
have to be the three.
Official invite. When's the
Yeah.
bachelorette party? Has it happened yet?
We are in the works of planning it, but it's this June, middle of June.
baby.
Nice.
Okay.
The bachelor party is the funnest part to plan, honestly.
Yeah.
Have you taken the reins on that?
Well, I was like, we were like kind of kicking around ideas. We just reserved an Airbnb. I think it's like Park
Nice. You have to
City
tell us where.
area. So
I'll be there.
yeah, you guys come.
See you there.
Nice.
Open invite.
Nice. It's going to be awesome. Boat day or something. It's going to rock.
Are you going to bring your stuffy with you for the bachelorette party?
Yeah, it's always a must.
It's a
We
must.
always have them.
I love that. Jesse Comfort kind of like opened the can of worms on Team USA and your stuffed animals. Can you tell us about your stuffed animal and like where he has to come with you, where you got the stuffed animal from? Like, what's the deal?
Well, mine's a teddy bear and hers is a snow leopard. And we always just put them on like when we make the bed. It's always like sitting up front. And she like posted the cleaning service came one time and like posted it up on the pillows. And she's like, I got to make sure snow leopard can see today. And I was like, okay, no, they're not humans, Taylor. Like, but she was on NHL Network and the teddy bear was like in the frame. And the guy who was like setting the scene was like, whose little stuffed animal is that? And I was like, well, the stuffed animal made NHL Network. So
Like in the background of an interview, sitting on the bed.
Stop.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, what percentage of your team do you think carries a stuffed animal with them at all times on the road?
People that will be openly admitting that or actually bringing that.
I want the real
Actually
number.
bringing it. Yeah.
Oh, I'd less than half.
Less than
But
half?
I think some people secretly bring them and just don't say it because they think it's embarrassing. But I'm like, you just got to own it.
You think so? Like, who do you think are the closet stuffy people?
I don't even know. But I mean, like, if Kelly
Lee?
Panic brought one, I'm like, wouldn't put it past me, but I don't think she would admit it.
She wouldn't advertise it.
Yeah.
Who is the most obsessed with their stuffed animal?
Oh, Jessie Comfort for sure.
That makes sense.
She
But you
told
got to
us
make
so.
sure the stuffed animal doesn't get put in the check bag.
We heard that you had to check a bag specifically for stuffed animals.
No, you have to
Come
bring it
on.
on the carry-on.
Yeah, you don't put it in your check in case your check doesn't
Right.
make it.
Right. But when was it that you guys actually had to check a separate bag with the stuffed animals in it? Maybe a World's or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. But won't put it past me.
All the stuffed animals traveling together. Are jammies also necessary?
heard-
I'm a big matching pajama person.
Oh, the
as well.
sets, yes.
Yeah. And you're passionate about that too?
Yeah, you gotta always have the sets and then make sure they fold them nicely sitting on the end of the bed. I think the Scepters had the video of like, what do you do with your pajamas of like something? And like some of the girls were like, yeah, put it under the pillow or like something like that. And I was like, is that like just them joking? But I don't know. You gotta always after wear them, fold them, set them on the end of the bed. Yeah.
Do you make your own bed even when you're on the road? I heard you're always a bed maker.
I'm always a bed maker and she is not. But funny story, we got a text and someone goes, whose bed is made and whose bed is unmade? Because it was per that NHL Network interview. And like one bed looked like a tornado went off and one was like super clean.
Pristine. I heard that. Okay, so you obviously take care of you have a routine with your bed. You fold the jammies so nice, the matching set, end of the bed. Let's say you go down for meal, pregame skate, you come back, time for the pregame nap. Are you the type of person that will get back in the jams to have the nap? You are, eh?
Yes. Because I'm like, I don't want to put dirty clothes inside under the sheets.
I get it.
I completely agree with that. Yeah. I'm at my best when I have my matching set of PJs on. Like, how do you relax otherwise?
Yeah. Or like some people, they get off the plane and then go lay in the bed. And I'm like, that is disgusting.
Okay, no, that is wrong.
No, outside clothes in any bed actually sends
That's
me into
criminal.
orbit.
That is criminal.
We have a shower downstairs, and like when Liam gets home from hockey, like I'm like, don't even come in the house before you go down to your little dungeon shower. There's no icky clothes allowed around the bedroom. It's the worst on the road, honestly.
That is hilarious. Grace, you're a blast. We love it. You guys can just keep posting all of those great videos of calling people and telling them you love them. I think you guys are
gosh.
such a treat.
The prank calls are so special.
They're
The
the
prank
best.
calls are so special.
Julie and I would love to have you and Heisey on week to week. Just a little catch up from wherever you are. No press. I know there's a lot going on, but if you guys ever want to just catch up with us week to week, give us a little update where you are. Maybe allow us to jump in on a phone call or two. Let us know.
Bachelorette trip, let us know.
We can
Like
do
wherever
that.
you need us,
That would be
we'll
fun.
be there. Grace, you're the best. In the middle of a long road trip, and she's so nice to join us. Appreciate you as always. This was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
And again, that interview brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL. On or off the ice, feel the bubbles melt.
Julia, I had taken one out last night to an AERO. I was like, okay, I can't forget to take this down. And if anyone ever wants to get me any type of gift, can you just buy me like their truffle arrows or their vanilla arrows?
They're so good.
I did not make it down here. Last night, it didn't even make it to this morning. I can't. I was like, I'll just keep the package opened and like make it
I'll
look
just have a couple
full.
squares.
You can't. You
I
cannot.
try. I'm like,
I tried
okay, I'll
one
break
row.
off 3. I'll do 1 row. And then I put it in the cupboard and I'm like, all right, you stay there now.
Yeah. I'm going to
And then
save
I'm
half
back.
for Ed.
I'm just like, every time I walk by, I'm doing a drive by a couple squares or a row. Like, what difference does it make? I should just eat it all at once. I spread it out over an evening and act like that makes a difference.
I know. They're so lethal.
They're so good.
Tasty.
They are so good. And so is Grace Zumwinkle. So pumped to see her on that U.S. Olympic roster.
Yeah, proud of her.
Very happy for her and very happy to talk to her. Thanks, Grace, for coming on the pod. A little bit of a quieter week here in the PWHL test. New York at Toronto tonight. Wednesday night, Seattle, Boston. And no games on Thursday. So a little bit of a quieter week to start the PWHL 2026 era. We did our Send It segment already. Like, That's
Beautiful.
it. Got anything else to tell the world before we pop off here?
No, one last thought on that Montreal, Minnesota game. I felt like in the first period and some of the second, Montreal was thinking hockey too much.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like times I was like, why aren't you going to get that puck? You know, where
There were
it's
a
just
couple
like
times.
less instinctual.
Yeah. And that was a physical game. I can't believe I didn't say that, but like maybe it was just obvious and I didn't feel like saying the obvious. That was an extremely physical game. We had a fill-in producer that day because the regular producer was sick. We had Garrett Hansford. Have you worked with him before? He was
No.
awesome. But he usually works NHL. So he's like, I don't have a ton. I love women's game. Don't have a ton of time to watch it all the time because I'm always working NHL. And
Yeah.
he said that was the most physical game I've seen all year. He came out of the truck and he said, they hate one another.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. So always good to see people recognize what's going on fully in this league. And always awesome getting to catch up on a Monday with you, my friend, and with all of our fine listeners on a Tuesday when you all get to hear this. Thanks to our sponsors, Shark Ninja, Clever Mocktails, Sober Carpenter, AERO, CCM for helping us put on the show as always. If you guys want to get in touch with us on our Send It segment or our Dr. Jill segment coming up on Friday, you can call us. Leave us a voicemail at 1-929-542-2442 or email us, jocksinjills@thepwhl.com. I check our DMs as much as I can, so fire us a DM at jocksinjills. It also helps us a lot if you subscribe on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can. You can also find every episode of Jocks and Jills on the PWHL's YouTube page. We love you all. 2026, we are off and running, and we will talk to you on Friday.